Hello everyone, thank you for joining me again. My kitchen got a major workout during the holidays, so today I am giving myself exactly 3 hours to clean and organize the room. I got a head start yesterday when I cleaned this upper oven, so let's go back to yesterday so I can show you the job. I have 2 electric wall ovens. The oven I'm cleaning now is the upper one. It gets the most use. To start, I remove the oven racks. We will clean these oven racks outdoors in a future video. Then I use a non-scratch scraper to remove any loose grime from the oven floor. My oven's self-cleaning feature does a great job on the interior, but it does nothing for the oven glass. Consequently, I clean the glass by hand. The easiest and most effective way to do this is to first spray the glass generously with a foaming oven cleaner. Then I cover the wet glass with cling film. Cling film keeps the oven cleaner active. It also allows me to close the oven door. After 1 hour, I remove the cling film and scrape off all of the loosened grease and grime. I have found that the best scraping tool here is a safety razor. It's amazing to watch the previously baked-on grease lift away so effortlessly. Next, I use a damp cloth and Dawn Power Wash to remove any remaining oven cleaner. And to polish the glass, I simply rinse it with a damp cloth. Now that the glass is sparkling clean, I can run the self-clean cycle. This will heat the oven to such a high temperature that any grease and grime on the oven walls and floor will be turned to ash. Once the self-clean cycle is complete, I simply rinse away the ash with a damp cloth. My oven looks practically new at this point. I should mention that my house was built in 1826, which is exactly 200 years ago. The kitchen, like all of the rooms in this house, is completely private. Let's open the kitchen door, and I will give you a full view of the room, warts and all. So I think you have only seen this side of the kitchen in the videos. Today, I'm going to show you pretty much everything. You may have noticed that the cabinets on that side of the room are different from the cabinets on this side of the room. These cabinets are 19th century. I couldn't bear to part with them when we redid this kitchen back in 2017. Now, most of my drawers and cabinets are already organized because you and I organized them. But today, we're going to go through the drawers and cabinets that we have not yet organized. For instance, this cabinet right here. I think I can find better use for the space. Okay. I have a lot of recipes taped to this door, but I also have all of the recipes online, so I really don't need to clutter the door with printed recipes. I have a lot of cookbooks on the top shelf, the middle shelf, and on the countertop below, and I'm going to have to purge some of these books. I also need to purge a lot of this alcohol here, which I bought primarily for recipes. I will keep what I use regularly and part with the rest. I really don't need multiple bottles of vermouth. This vermouth has never been opened. I'm going to store it in the refrigerator. I don't even remember why I bought sweet vermouth. I must have needed it for some recipe that you and I made together. I'm going to empty out a lot of these bottles, just as Carrie Nation would. I'm sure someday one of my guests will ask for Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey, so I'm going to keep this over in the north wing of the house. Grand Marnier we use in a lot of recipes. That's a keeper. Coconut rum. I have no idea why I bought this. Yet more vermouth. Amontillado sherry, which is wonderful in cream soups. I will keep it. Bailey's Irish cream, I will keep over in the north wing. I think I've found the perfect spot to keep my cooking liqueurs. It's the same Lazy Susan on which I keep my maple syrup and vanilla extract. Let's see if we can find a room here. Yes. Ta-da! I have a lot of cookbooks. I'm going to keep the ones that I use all the time at hand in the kitchen. Others I will move to a bookcase in the music room. And some cookbooks that I never use, I will donate to the local public library. James Beard, American Cookery, definitely a keeper. A local keeper. Dory Greenspan, Baking Chez Moi. Love that book. One of you sent me this book called Sips and Snacks, and I really love it. I've already bookmarked some of the recipes I want to make. And this is the cookbook that actually taught me how to cook, and I highly recommend it. The Way to Cook by Julia Child. And with this shelf cleaned, I now have room for my smaller food processor. I thought I had room for it. I do. I also have room for my 30-year-old hand mixer. I also have room for these big mixing bowls, which I use frequently. And then I have an empty space up top, and I'm sure it won't stay empty for long. So we're going to call this cabinet done. This cabinet needs only a slight bit of help. I have my cocktail skewers and my food processor attachments, a ball of kitchen twine. I think we can organize all those things. Skewers, food processor slicing blade, food processor shredding blade, food processor attachment for those blades, a little bag of slivered almonds that has probably been here since 2010. Out it goes. These are my well-baked beans. These are the beans I use when I blind bake pie crusts. Oh, and look at all of these loose toothpicks. Loose because they were not organized. Electric beaters go with the handheld gadget over here. Food processor goes back. The top half is over here. Okay, the storage tote is too long. It won't fit. But I have another storage container that will. Ta-da! And then I have room for my well-baked beans. I even have room now for this Rotato, which I gifted myself recently, and I have not unboxed it yet because I want to do that with you on video. So it's an automatic potato peeler, and it can go right there for now. Now I'm realizing that I also have room for some food storage containers. Right there. That's perfect. Oh, I'm liking this already. I also have room for this new Dutch oven that my spouse bought me for Christmas. I'm going to clear everything off of this counter and then I can wipe it down. Now, this is a Christmas gift that my spouse and I bought for our cats. It's one of those weighted discs that has a fishing pole attached to it. We actually bought one of these last year too. Neither of the cats played with it, so we had forgotten that the cats don't really like this. So I'm going to gift this to someone. We have 2 coffee stations because my spouse drinks decaf. I do not. Let me explain the 2 coffee stations again. So I drink percolated coffee, as you have seen, and my spouse, who is usually in a rush in the mornings, drinks the Keurig, or those, he makes coffee from those little pods. So I don't do that. Counters always look best when they have absolutely nothing on them. They are also much easier to clean. And this is the only room I have for my cling film, and I do use cling film every now and again, so I like to have it on hand. You've seen that I have 2 refrigerators. I have a huge refrigerator over here with French doors, which we love. That refrigerator broke down about a week after we had it, and while we were waiting for the repair, the appliance place from where we bought the refrigerator gave us this loaner. And we decided to keep the loaner even after we had the other refrigerator repaired. And that is why I have 2 refrigerators. I have a lot of stuff on top of this refrigerator that I couldn't find room for. We're going to try to find room for everything today. And I think this dresser might be the answer. Now, I bought this dresser. Well, I didn't buy this dresser. Someone gave it to me for free, probably 20 years ago. And I've used it to store odds and ends. I'm going to clean those out and make room for things I really need. So this muffin tin is all scratched up. That's going to go. I have a couple of bread pans, which I don't use any longer because I have much better bread pans in my pantry. Casserole dish. These 3 items can go to a local charity. Oh, this drawer is a disaster. Food storage container, wallpaper samples. This drawer has been a catch-all. More wallpaper samples. Oh boy, I'm going to empty everything out of this drawer. Before I put anything into these dresser drawers, I want to buy some drawer liners. Take a short drive with me. So I think these soft gripper type drawer liners will work very well in this dresser over here. Maybe one of these days, you and I can refinish this old dresser. This leftover liner, I think, will work very nicely in the cabinets over here. But we will do that on another day. Right now, I want to put my food storage containers in the dresser. These can go in here. I have my soup containers up here. This is Avery's kibbles. We made a lot of soups in a video, I think it was a year ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, and we froze those soups, and boy, were those convenient to have on hand. And I put the soups in these freezer containers. Maybe we should do another soup video soon. In the comments, let me know if that would be of interest to you. And before we tackle the bottom drawer, let me show you what's in this cabinet, because it applies. I have a lot of jars. I use these for food storage. So I'm going to transfer them to the lower drawer in this dresser. And these jars just fit. I am so happy about that. More jars. And I can put my canning rings and lids in here, and my leak-proof screw-on lids over here. And I did test this drawer by opening and closing it several times, and the jars do not topple over. And next, I have on top of this refrigerator some very nice Nordic ware cake pans. I have to find a space for them, which you have probably already guessed is going to be where I previously stored the jars. This is another cabinet that has been pretty much ignored. And this is my spouse's empty box of something. spare crackers. Out they go. This is kind of an awkward cabinet that's over my ovens. It's very deep, so it's not easy to find things in here. These are some gluten-free food items that my spouse enjoys. I'm going to put these right here. Then I want to move my cooling racks to this first level because I use my cooling racks almost every day. And my Nordic ware cake pans will fit right up here. I don't mind having them up high because I don't make cakes every single day. And this pretty much completes our organization project today. The only thing I need to do now is just some surface cleaning. I'm so glad that one of you told me about the white green cloth. I use it to clean and polish the oven exterior, plus the stainless steel microwave, cooktop, dishwasher, and the large stainless refrigerator. The white-green cloth works well even on Mr. Potato Head. I can link the cloth in the description below if you are interested. We started this project at 11:19. It is now 2:19, so we finished in just 3 hours. And now we need a reward. These are some of the ginger snap cookies that you and I made together in a previous episode and that I froze unbaked. I should mention that if you are short on kitchen space, pegboard might be the answer. I put up pegboard here and in 2 other locations in this kitchen, and the pegboard has been a game changer for me. I'm able to put a lot of odds and ends on the pegs, and everything is in plain view. I can find whatever I need. And what is a cooling rack without some cookies to go on it? I'm going to let them cool for a couple of minutes, then I will transfer them, well, to the rack for further cooling. And in the meantime, I have brewed some coffee that I will enjoy, I think, in the music room. Well, how many cookies do I deserve? This is a question. I think I deserve a lot of cookies. I worked hard today. We'll start with that. I have a little doggie at my side. Do you like ginger snap cookies? I think she does. These ginger snaps are still slightly warm and oh, so spicy and delicious. Thank you so much for spending time with me today as we organize the parts of the kitchen that really needed it. To be honest with you, I was really embarrassed to show you a 360-degree view of the kitchen, but now I'm glad I did. It feels great to have a place for everything and everything in its place. In the comments, let me know if you have a big organizing project at hand. And until the next video, please treat yourself very, very well, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now, friends.